Hey guys, welcome to this video. Today I've got a short question from a subscriber that how to use gap elements. There is no more details there, so what I take it as is, and the user must have 2 or 3 different components and they are in contact or in close proximity, and subscriber really wants to define the gap properties between them. So normally what I do is, if I go here, let me create 2 parts to demonstrate fully what you can really do. Let's go with 3D deformable part. Just go with some arbitrary circle, extrude it to a depth. Again, I'm going for default, so I have 1 part now. You can define properties. I'm not going to run it, so I'm just going to keep it like this. So just imagine this could be elastic, plastic, composite, whatever. Then you go to assembly, you bring first part, and from here, and then you can bring another one so that you can assemble them together. Now I will just move, let's say, this part from maybe this point to this point. Press OK. And now what I do, I just go again, step whatever. I'm not going to go into the details of that. You can define step. Generally it works for standard or explicit as well, but you can check the documentation. I'm not really updated on that. So you need to define the gap, if there is a gap or whatever the interaction properties between them, whether there is a gap between them or not. So what you usually do, you go and define the interaction properties. So you go to interaction, you can go with contact, I think, for the time being. And here, when you press this, then you will have different options. So you can define normal and tangential behavior, which is a mechanical response. So it goes with, if you remember, hard contact, etc. So this defines the behave once they are in contact with each other. So mechanical behavior includes normal and tangential behavior. If there is a sliding, then how they're going to do it. If there is any kind of damping, let's say you're using some kind of layer of bonding material which is viscoelastic, then you can define some sort of damping there. If you're modeling damage, and initially they are fixed to each other, all the nodes, then you can define damage as well. Again, I have a video on cohesive behavior and cohesive elements, so you can have a look at that if you're interested in that. In this case, I assume when the subscriber was asking for a gap element, it must be either of these: thermal conductance, heat generation, radiation, heat transfer, or maybe electrical conductance between the two surfaces, depending on the distance. So if you go click on this thermal conductance, then you can define the thermal conductance depending on the clearance, pressure dependency, if it's a thermomechanical or loading, or both. So in this case, if you define conductance, let's say if at 0 clearance, the value of conductance is 1, and at a clearance of 0.1, which was the initial clearance or whatever you had, so you can define that based on clearance. So you can keep on increasing as well. And you can also define temperature dependent data for conductance. So this way it will create a kind of a thermal conductance, that how much heat energy can transfer between the two surfaces if there is a gap between them. So this way you are creating kind of a gap element in the sense of thermal conductance. You can do the same for heat generation. If heat is generated, there is a friction between them due to the tangential motion, and some friction coefficient is involved, then there will be definitely a heat generation effect. And then you can decide, okay, how much fraction of the heat caused by frictional electrical that is converted to heat. So how much energy is converted to heat, and then it could be whole, all the frictional energy is gone to heat, for example, or you can specify a percentage that only 50% is conducted, and you have some other damping and other mechanisms which were not allowing the rest of the energy to be converted to heat energy. Similarly, you can also say that fraction of converted heat distributed to the slave surface. So when you will be creating an interaction, you will have to select one of the surface to be slave and one of the surface to be master. So in this case, it says that, okay, if the heat is generated, then how much will it go towards the slave surface? So it will be distributed among the two surfaces depending on the distance. In this case, there is no distance. You have to be in contact with each other because you have some kind of frictional behavior going on, electrical currents going on. You can also define the radiation heat transfer, and again you can give the radiation heat transfer depending on the clearances. It's the same as what you did for the thermal conductance. Similarly, for electrical conductance, you can define the electrical conductivity at 0 separation and also at a certain distance when it becomes 0. So you can define a linear function Again, you can have only clearance dependence or only pressure dependence, or maybe both. It depends on both of them. So if you select both, then you have to define also pressure dependency in this tab here. So I hope, so this way you can define these gap properties between the two interacting surfaces. I hope this was a question from the subscriber. If this is not the question, then please comment below or send me a message and I will try to make a video on that as well. So thank you very much and bye for now.